Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Mongooli Show. This has been a very busy week in Marvel Strike Force, but also, honestly, in my own personal life. And I'm recording this really late on Friday night, so I kind of want to just get this done as quickly as possible and get to bed. But I do still want to make sure that you get all the news of last week and this week coming up. So I don't want to miss anything. There just might not be as much editing in this video as there usually is. Let's jump into it. All right, the first thing we're going to touch on is the orb opening, the open all orbs. They are back. They are live in game right now. My understanding is everybody should have one. Last week, I said they were going to start rolling out Saturday. That was a lie. I apologize. They were rolling out Monday. That was always that way. I just read it wrong and gave that news wrong. So I do apologize for that. But as of Monday, they started rolling those out, and by, I don't remember, I think I had mine on Tuesday. I couldn't tell you exactly when I got mine, but by Wednesday, everybody should have had these. I think that means everybody has them right now live in game. Let me know if you don't have them live in game currently, but I believe everybody should. These are phenomenal, and honestly, like, I'm of two minds on this one, because on one half, the game's been out for 6 years. It should not have taken 6 years for this. This is a very, very, very basic feature, and the fact that we're celebrating this is kind of sad for how low our expectations are for this game. On the other hand, the open all orb feels so good and so much better than the last time we had it. Like, it takes, I think, literally like 3 seconds, and I opened like 15,000 orbs, whereas before it would take like 3 to 5 seconds to open 10 at a time. Like, you would literally, if I had that many orbs, I'd have to put the phone down and walk away for a bit. So while I feel like this is a feature that should have always been there, at the same time, I got to give them props. They did a phenomenal job with this. It seems to be incredibly stable, incredibly fast. Good job, Scopely. Please don't screw it up. On August 6th, we got the Mind of Magneto. Now, I'm not going to say this is a bad event, because for newer players, this is a phenomenal event. However, for older players, even though they're giving you free stuff, I have to look at this and just kind of go, this could have been a calendar. Like, there was no real reason for me to sim 7 battles in a row just to get whatever the rewards were. I honestly don't even remember, because this event came and went so fast in my brain that it just doesn't register. Technically, it happened. Moving on. Now, that being said, again, if you're a newer player, this gave really decent rewards. So I'm not shitting on this event per se. It's just, we'll get to it. There's other things that I want to talk about, but like right here, right now, Mind of Magneto, make sure you collect it, and you can get, there are milestone points available for this, but if you're doing all of your daily stuff, you're going to get those chimichangas. You don't actually need to play this very much to get it. Those chimichangas alone are pretty much going to carry you as far as you need to go. Also on August 6th, we got this surprise special arena store availability. Now, I did make a video on this halfway through the week, so hopefully you caught that video or just recognized this was happening, because this is already out of the game. That's how fast this event was. So if you paid attention, you know that the arena rewards changed drastically. Again, I made a video about this. You can check the video out. But the arena payouts changed drastically, so now the entire top 10 gets the exact same prize. So it doesn't matter if you're in 1st or 10th, you're going to get 500 power cores and 20,000 orb fragments for Gore. It is currently. No, it's not. It's Gladiator. That's a lie. So that's really nice. And obviously, you know, the price structure goes all the way down to the point, I think, like 10,000 are all getting power cores. So pretty much everybody who's participating in any shape or form in your arena are getting a decent amount of power cores. And the higher up you get, obviously, the better it gets. Duh. But what else was going on with that is in the store, we had a bunch of these actually really good characters. I think they're all farmable at this point. I don't see anybody jumping out at me that wasn't farmable in some capacity, but it was a secondary way of farming these. And especially with the old Man Logan trials going on, having the leader, Iron Patriot, Cosmic Ghost Rider, and Starbrand in particular being double farmable was really, really nice. So if you didn't have those characters at 7 stars, which you do need if you want to get your 7-star Old Man Logan, there was a secondary way to farm them during this period. Now, I have all of these characters already at 7 yellow stars, so this didn't actually help me out at whatsoever, but this is still a really, really nice thing for a lot of people. I'm sad that it was so short and that they didn't really give you any advance warning that it was going to happen. It was just kind of there one day, but so be it. The bigger part of this is the fact that the rewards for the arena are permanent, and the L4 training materials in the store are permanent. Both of those are really, really good changes. I don't care what Reddit has to say. Those are both positives for the game. Earlier today, another blog came out. Now, this one I did not know was happening. This came out of left field, to be honest. Android users assemble. Now, what they're basically saying is if you're an Android user and you want to be part of their beta testing, you can sign up for this and then you can tell them if you have any problems, because apparently nobody at Scopely owns an Android phone and can do the testing for themselves. So if you want the new graphical update, it actually tells you exactly what you can do and how you're going to go about doing it. It does mention that you can also do it from the Play Store if you're using a computer like BlueStacks or LD Player like I do. So both of those are options. It'll tell you exactly how to do it and what you're supposed to do. I am an Android user. I am not going to be doing this. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not like doing whatever. My life is busy enough without me being their beta tester for graphical updates. This is something they can figure out, and when it's live and ready to go, I will gladly update my phone and get that bonus. But right here, right now, I just don't have the time or inclination or honestly care that much, because the screenshots I've seen of the graphics, yes, the graphics look nice for the most part, but then they fall out entirely in certain areas where you've just got like pink blocks instead of lines in raids and stuff like that. And it's like, I'll just wait for it to be perfected. Thank you very much. But that's just me. If you want to, the blog is here. It'll tell you everything you need to how to download it and how to get testing. And then, if you run into issues, you can let Scopely know and they can make it better. So thank you for making it better for people like me who don't want to. Appreciate you. Now, as I said, I don't usually mess around with Reddit because, quite frankly, I'm old and it confuses me. But I did notice there was a lot of people over there complaining this last week, to the point where it's spilling out to even people like myself who don't use it. We're noticing that a lot of people are complaining about the old Man Logan trials. Now, for the record, two things I want to touch on before I go any further with this. Yes, I do spend money on this game. I buy the occasional battle pass or strike pass, usually about 1 or 2 a month. Nothing crazy. I don't buy character offers. I don't generally buy other offers, or I haven't in a long time. It's really just the battle passes. Now, I fully understand that the battle passes alone are a significant jump up from like free to play. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm basically free to play. No, I am absolutely not. Like the amount of gold, training materials, crimson gear, like the amount of stuff it gives you is bananas. And like, I understand if you don't want to spend money on a cell phone game, I do. But if you're willing to, this is absolutely the best bang for your buck. So like, I'm definitely not free to play, and I'm not trying to say that I am, but I'm definitely nowhere near a whale either. So that's point 1. Point 2, yes, I am a content creator and an envoy. Why does that matter? Because when I play this game live, I have not only my own strategies and what I want to be doing, but I also have chat telling me stuff that they're like, oh, try this, oh, switch that, oh, do that. So it's a little bit of a hive mind situation, and I do recognize that does play a role. So those two things, I'm recognizing those two things, but that being said, the huge conversation is that Old Man Logan Trials were way too hard, they're tuned too high. I don't agree with that. I think it's actually a really, really good thing that one of the most powerful characters in this game actually requires you to play the game to get it. I got him. I have 7 yellow, 6 red star Old Man Logan at the moment, and he was tough. I'm not going to lie to you. Like it took some work. It took some effort. It took some time. And I did have to restart multiple nodes multiple times. I even had to restart my entire run at one point because I screwed up. You do have to sacrifice node 4 a couple of times. You just do. But if you use the right characters, if you use the right, what are they called? Scourges or trials or whatever it is that makes it tougher, but actually easier, you can get there. I was able to get there. I can't say you can get there because for all I know, you might be level 84 and being like, why can't I do this? It's end game content, guys. You need to be at the end game. And no, I'm sorry, like the one person on Reddit that I'm talking about, I'm not going to bother with their name. A, I don't remember it, and B, I don't want to out the person. But they were saying like, hey, I'm level like 95 and I've got all these characters at 95. Why can't I do gear tier 15 or level 15 and get my 7-star Logan? Because you're not at the end game. I'm sorry, level 95 is not end game anymore. You need to have your characters at 100. You don't necessarily need to have them at gear tier 19. That's a little bit of overkill potentially. Most of my characters are not that high. But you need to be at the end game if you want to do the end game content. And I think there's nothing wrong with this game having content that is hard. Now, I'm not talking about impossible. Like there was that temporal dimension a little while ago where you could get stuck in a loop. That sucks. That's bad game making. That's a totally different thing. This is just the game being difficult. And considering how many game options are just non-events, like look at that Mind of Magneto that we were just talking about. Complete non-event. like you can sim that. Like I haven't tried, but like I've got a level 67 character or something like that, like my baby account. I should go and try that because I bet money I can beat that event with that account pretty easily. Campaign nodes, even the hard ones they come out with, completely simmable non-events. The only real thing I can think of that isn't PvP is Dark Dimension, and that's so incredibly gated that it takes you months to get into it, assuming you're not wailing out. And even when you get into it, like you get to a certain node and you're stuck there for another couple of months. Like I'm stuck getting into global, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's just going to be like a slow daily grind trying to get into it. Once I get into global, I'll get past that. It'll take me 3-4 days, and then I'll be stuck at the cosmic section. So the old man Logan, yes, it's stargated. Yes, that's unfortunate. I'm not going to argue that it got better somehow, but all the characters are farmable at this point. So you could get there if you need to. I don't know what they're going to do for the third run. I honestly, I don't. Like, maybe by the time the third run, it'll be a lot easier to get your 7 stars old man Logan because he will no longer be one of the best characters in the game at that point. Maybe it'll always be this hard and they just figure, you know, it'll be easier to get to level 100 and it'll be easier to get 7 red stars on all these characters, so it won't be as big of an issue. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with this in the future. But right here, right now, I like that this was difficult. Please, please don't make them make everything bone simple. I don't want to have to like auto sim every single game mode. I just don't. And if you think that that's me being privileged or me being always a content creator, oh, he spends money, maybe that does play a factor in it. Maybe that plays a larger factor in it than I'm recognizing, even though I did recognize that it does play a factor. I don't know. But I will say that when I get that knowledge from the audience and when we have that hive mind, I do make a video on it so that you can watch that and figure it out. Or Dorky Dad does, or Valley Flying does, or whoever. Like, there's a lot of content creators out there who make content to help people out. So if you don't have the hive mind, you kind of do. Anyways, that was a much longer rant than I meant it to be. The point is, I like that there's difficult content in this game, even if it only shows its head once in a little while. There's not a whole lot to mention on this one, but it is worth mentioning. They did change the spotlight raid so that now you can sim up to 10 times. This is a huge quality of life improvement, and it actually means you can get through the spotlight raids really, really easily. Now, I have heard some people grumbling because, you know, with time zones and whatnot, like maybe their lane mate is going to steal all the lanes because now you can technically sim all of them pretty quickly. I think that's an lane mate. I think that's an alliance problem more so than a game problem. From a game perspective, this is a good change. From an alliance perspective, maybe your alliance sucks. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm in a really nice alliance. We have really good guys. We'll help each other out. We don't tend to steal from each other. Maybe I'm super lucky and I don't really recognize that. But if your alliance sucks, there's a lot of them out there looking for people right now. I'm just going to throw that out there and leave it alone of that. I think this is a wonderful change. This might be in the blogs. We're going to cut it. I don't know. But as far as the arena goes, there is an event coming up where you can do arena battles on the weekend. The problem was people were saying, well, what if I'm stuck at number 1 and nobody challenged me for it? Like maybe I've got Mephisto and nobody else does, and I'm just stuck at 1 and I can't get 5 attacks in to get those milestone points. You are going to get 14,000 milestone points if you are ranked number 1. Now, there is the slight issue of you might be at rank number 1 all day long, and then at like 5 minutes to cash payout, somebody beats you for first place. So that person gets their 5 attacks and the rewards, and you get literally nothing. That sucks. I don't know what else to tell you there. There's nothing to be done in that situation. That's just a bad situation for you. I wish I had a better answer for that. I think that's only really going to screw a couple of people, like a small handful of people. But for those people, that is truly unfortunate. For everybody else, just get your normal attacks in and you'll get the milestone points and you should be okay. The other thing I want to touch on is these orb, the Gladiator Annihilator orb fragments. The drop rate on these is pretty crap. And when I say that, I recognize that this is not the main event. And I hope that you guys do as well. So there's going to be a Gladiator free-to-play event where you're actually going to unlock the character. This is a bonus. That being said, I don't understand why the Silver Surfer shards are so bad, because if the point of this is that it's supposed to be good for newer players, why aren't we giving newer players a decent amount of Silver Surfer shards? If you open 10 of these orbs, generally speaking, you get like 8 or 9 Silver Surfer shards and like 1 or 2 Gladiator shards. Now, I've gotten incredibly lucky, so I don't know. My luck has been incredible on these things, to be honest. I don't have them unlocked or anything, but like, I'm doing okay. But for the most people, what I'm hearing is they're getting like 8 or 9 Silver Surfer shards, maybe 1, maybe 2 Gladiator shards, and that's kind of it. And I don't really have anything to say about that, any positive spin at least, because it kind of does suck. Like I was totally ready to get on board and be like, no, this is a good thing. It's for newer players. But if it's for new players, why aren't we getting more Silver Surfer shards? I don't need them. I'm not advocating for myself. But for the newer players, why aren't they getting a decent amount of Silver Surfer shards? Like even like 5 per orb would be massive, right? If you can get 5 of these orbs a day and you're getting 5 Silver Surfer shards, now you're getting 25 Silver Surfer shards a day. That's not bad. As a newer player, that'll get them unlocked pretty quickly. That's decent. But like 8 or 9 a day, what is even the point? That being said, it's free. You do get Gladiator shards. This isn't the main event. Worst case scenario, they're not even asking you to do anything you wouldn't be doing otherwise. It's literally just play arena, which you should be doing anyways, because power cores are one of the better currencies in the game, and you're going to get free stuff. So I've heard people comparing this to Thanos Giving. I wasn't really around for Thanos Giving. All I really know about it is the orbs were bad, and maybe these orbs are just as bad or worse, but there's nothing attached to them. This is literally just free stuff. So take it with a grain of salt. I do wish the Silver Surfer shards payouts were better. Obviously, I wish the Gladiator shard payout was better, but it's a brand new character. I can't complain about that too much. I just don't understand who these orbs are truly for if the Silver Surfer shards payouts are so bad. But whatever, moving on. I had it in my head that there was something else big last week that I wanted to touch on, but I'm kind of blanking on it at the moment. Maybe we'll come back to it later in the video. I don't know. I can't think of what it is now. So we might as well just get into this week's vlog and talk about Gorr the God Butcherer and how we're going to go about unlocking that character, because he looks like he's going to be an absolute beast in Arena. Let's jump into that. All right, so first things first, you can see that Black Panther Shuri and Hank Pym are going to be coming to the Bumps and Elite stores. Doesn't say exactly when, but generally speaking, this happens like Friday-ish, so be on the lookout this for next week. But that's going to be a great change because those are 2 very strong Cosmic Crucible characters. On August 14th, Gorr the God Butcherer is going to be coming to the game, and when I say that, I mean you can either spend 675 power cores or cash if you want to try and unlock this character, so be on the lookout for that, as well as he's going to be showing up in the red star orbs more than often. This is the way they've been releasing characters for years now at this point, so just know that that's coming. There is a video here, I'm not going to play it right now, but it actually is pretty cool, and it does show you what you can expect out of Gorr, and it looks like he's going to be an absolute monster in Arena. So if you want to check this out, absolutely go ahead and do it. Just wait till after this video is done, maybe, please. Appreciate you. There's a Gorr's Hunt event coming out on the 14th. What that means specifically is this is the same thing we've got right now with the Gladiator event in the arena. Now, the Gorr orb is going to replace the Gladiator orb, so make sure you spend those as soon as you can when you get them. You don't want to have them just disappear. I'm sure they'll be in the store for an extra day or two just for overlap's sake, but make sure you are unlocking those to get as many Gladiator shards as you can, and then be doing as well as you can for Gorr so you can start working towards unlocking him as well. Again, same with Gladiator. This is not going to be the main way you unlock him. This is a bonus way to unlock him. And those orbs will have Gladiator in them as well as Gorr. I'm hoping that doesn't mean that the Gorr orbs are actually going to be or Gorr shards are actually going to be harder to get than the Gladiator ones are. I'd kind of prefer it if they chip into that Silver Surfer a little bit, but I doubt they will. We've also got the Weekend Arena Warriors event starting Saturday, later today. So what you're going to want to do with that is battle in arena to gain points, and when you're going to use those points, you're going to collect Captain Britain Awakened ability materials and Gladiator Annihilator orbs. Now, I know people are saying these orbs aren't very good, and I'm not going to argue with you on that, but the more of them you get, the better chance you have to unlock Gladiator, or at least get more stars on him, so when his free-to-play event comes, you can unlock him. So I still see this as being a good thing. The event's going to begin later today, if you watch this when this first comes out. We've also got the final week of the pool party event. This is just basically free stuff. It's another one of those non-events where you can just probably sim it pretty instantly and just get all the free stuff that you possibly can. But it's been giving pretty decent rewards, so you might as well participate in this, and there are milestones associated with it. So I wouldn't say core for this event per se, but definitely make sure that you are participating in it. Yeah. All right, here's the big one. This is the Diamond Claus event. This is what people have been saving for the last couple of days. You're going to want to be battling in Cosmic Crucible, expending campaign energy, that's the big one you want to be saving for, using power cores, and collect Midnight Coalition orbs. Why are you going to want to do this? Because there's a leaderboard attached with diamonds for Old Man Logan, as well as a bunch of T3 ISO 8 stuff and radioactive treats, which is how you're going to level those up. So This leaderboard is phenomenal. You're going to get like even 50%, top 50% of players are going to get some radioactive treats. If you can be the top 1,000, you're going to get diamonds for Old Man Logan. There's a bunch of stuff on here that's absolutely worth going for, as well as radioactive treats and such in the actual event that you are guaranteed if you can, you know, participate in it well enough. So this is an event you're going to want to be spending a lot for, not spending a lot of time and energy, not money necessarily. Although maybe, I don't know. No judgment. You do you. Unleash your claws on August 12th. This is Monday. This is going to be starting. You're going to want to battle in Cosmic Crucible for 1,000 points. You can get 1,800 on that. You want to spend campaign energy at a 2-to-1 ratio. There's no maximum. You want to spend power cores at a 5-to-1 ratio, no maximum, and earn the Midnight Coalition orb fragments at a 1-to-1 ratio. Now, of course, there's a feeder event for this where you can spend incursion energy or battle in blitz, and at a 10 it's battle, not win, and you get 10 points per. You've got about 54, 55 teams in blitz at the moment, which means for 3,100 points over 7 days, you don't even need to do a full rotation one every day, right? So you could easily get this, fill this out in one day if you go hard blitzing and then you're done for the week, or you can just do one rotation every single day and you'll be fine. And that's, again, assuming you don't spend incursion energy. So don't bother coring for this. It's the incursion energy is a bonus, not necessary whatsoever. Just ignore that part. Use your power cores on basic energy up here. That's where you're going to get the big rewards from. You can see there's mega gold orb fragments here as well. What milestone was that? 14, which should be pretty doable. The DJ mixtape is going to be worth a bunch of points. You're going to get the disco balls and, again, a bunch of radioactive treats. And if you can make it all the way down to the bottom, actually pretty low down at the bottom, you will get some crimson gear, which is decent. The crimson, I mean, they're catalysts, but still, going up as far as milestone 15 is actually pretty darn good. I was just noticing that now. Anyways, the leaderboard is what you're really worrying about here. You want to try and get those Old Man Logan. You want to try and get those T3s so you're ready for Dark Dimension 8 or 7.5, as it were. So do your best on this event. Start saving your campaign energy right now, and you should be fine. All right, we've got another alliance-wide event where you're going to want to be spending ISO 8 energy as well as earning Allied Supply 6 orb fragments. There's nothing crazy exciting on this list, but it's all good stuff. Like you're going to want a lot of the stuff, but there's no like, oh my God thing at the very bottom. You're just like, oh, I'm definitely wanting that 3 diamond on a character or something like that. It's just all value. It's all good. So make sure you're working along with your alliance and doing as well as you possibly can in this. Even if your entire alliance is participating but not spending crazy money, you're not going to make it like super far down on this one, but you should do just fine. Just make sure you're all participating if at all possible. The quick rumble event is going to be using Black Order, so make sure you've got them all as high up as you can. Nothing to really talk about there. All right, the Jarvis recommended orbs are now live. They say they're done their initial round of replacing the legacy orb with the Jarvis orbs, and there's now a celebratory batch of orbs in your mailbox waiting for you. I believe I got 10 orbs, if I remember correctly. These are not exciting for long-term players, but for new players, these are amazing. So just be happy that new people are getting to catch up faster than you did. There's no negative here. This is just good. All right, and that's all we've got for you this week in Marvel Strike Force. What do you think about the Old Man Logan Trials? Am I right? Is it nice to have a bit of a challenge, or am I way off base and they are in fact way too hard? Leave a comment down below stating your opinion, but try and keep it civil. We record these live over at twitch.tv/The Mongooli Show, so head over there and hit the follow button so you can hang out with us while we're live. We can talk Marvel Strike Force, we can talk about movies, we can talk about whatever you want, pretty much keeping politics and religion aside. If you made it this far in the video, you probably enjoyed it. Consider hitting that like button. It does actually help out the channel quite a bit. And if you want more great content like this, hit that subscribe button. It really, really does help. Other than that, Commanders, I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. And until next time, good luck to you.